What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We had the plague run through our household, and so we've been down, like out of commission here for the last couple weeks. It's been pretty crazy. I've been able to escape it mostly, but my wife and daughter not so much. They had it rough. So we've been doing that. We've also been watching what's going on, particularly since July, and we're like, wow, this is really truly happening. And what that is the demand destruction of the economy brought on by the Federal Reserve is absolutely in our face as of today. I mean, watching the markets, it's just a freaking bloodbath out there right now. The 10-year yield is spiking through the roof. This is a sign that people are like literally selling bonds. Capital is moving out of the bond market. Where is it going? Capital is getting destroyed in the equity market. What's going on, right? Interest rates are rising. They keep saying, oh, we're going to keep rising the rates. I don't think that they will. They'll probably do it one or two more times, but they continue to say, well, we're going to keep rising the rates. Isn't it odd that the price of money is centrally controlled by like 12 people? That's bizarre. I mean, very few markets are controlled by a handful of people, and being it that they control the price of money, which is all an interest rate is. And so anyway, what I have been talking about on my other channel, and I mean, just in personal groups and things like that for the last several years, is that we're now here. Like we're actually in this spot where you're seeing the demand destruction. You have this demographical cliff where you have more boomers leaving the market, the job and labor market, than you have Gen Zers replacing them. So we're in a spot where we're gonna have 400,000 workers in a deficit for 2022. And that's gonna continue to rise until it peaks at 900,000 a year in 2034. And then, you know, boomers will basically be completely phased out at that point. The millennials will be there, Gen Z will be there, and then we'll see if, you know, what the demographics look like at that point in time, which is still, you know, remains to be written. But at this point in time, demographics are our destiny. And so you can look at the 20s and the 30s and go, okay, well, we know roughly like what our demographics are gonna be. Well, let's put it this way, they won't be any higher, all right? They could be lower, but they're not gonna be any higher. And so you've got the demand destruction with the currency and the money supply. You've got the labor destruction, and then on top of that, you've got the supply disruptions. And then you've got, you know, these political elites doing their warring activity and making issues out of things that don't really need to be issues, because there are always issues going around the world. But we wanted to step in and start dictating as Americans what Russia's gonna do and how they're gonna treat, you know, even though we have endless wars all the time. But we wanted to jump in this time and go, well, you know, we're gonna take your foreign currency reserves. We're gonna shut you out of the SWIFT system, which is basically an interbank lending system that literally runs on like Windows 8, okay? So Windows XP, like it literally runs on that. Like that's how like boomerfied the system is. It's not like it runs on anything fancier than that. It's literally Windows XP. It's like a spreadsheet situation. I've got a buddy who always reminds us that he gets to do some of the sanctions at one of his alphabet soup organizations he works for. He's like, I've done some of the sanctions and stuff. I'm like, yeah, bro, it runs on Windows 8, basically. And so but it's weird because what's happening at this point in time is other nations are looking at the US going like, we don't trust you guys. You guys are printing your currency like crazy. However, but they need these dollars because the entire world is just laced in US dollar debt. And so they've got to purchase these dollars. And so as the price of the dollar has been going up relative to other currencies, it's actually squeezing these other nations out. And so you're in a point of like de-globalization where you're not gonna have as much global trade as you used to have, because the system is out of whack. And nobody wants to sit down like adults at the table and be like, look, we need to fix this. Let's have a meeting. Let's get all the nations together. Let's make sure it's working for you and working for us. Because really, when you are the world reserve currency, you always have to be creating currency units. This is why we couldn't stay in the gold standard. We had to create debt, essentially. And then we had to offshore our jobs. And so, like, then we had to hollow out our middle class. And it's called Triplin's Dilemma, is the gentleman who wrote a lot on this. When you have the world's reserve currency, it starts to be an issue at some point in time as it starts to scale. It works immediately, like in 1944, but then in 1971, we had to redo the rules, so we had to back it not by gold, but by petroleum. And then in 2022, we've decided to not really back it by petroleum anymore. It's just kind of backed by the full faith and trust in the United States government, which at the same time is eroding faster than it has ever eroded in the last 100 years. I mean, it is going down the toilet. So basically, I've been working on getting my affairs in order, getting our family's affairs in order, making sure that we're good for a financial system lockup, and I do think that we're gonna see this. You watch the 10-year yield today, it is spiking over 5%, which for a US Treasury bond should be real chill. It's not cryptocurrency, but it's acting like cryptocurrency right now. And so it's what I thought was gonna happen. My big macro picture, which I'll share in future videos, like where I think we're going, is happening. And so I've been putting my nose to the grindstone, literally checking off boxes and making sure, like, do we have the fuel in the tanks? I bought a lot of new tanks. I got a lot of tanks, like to fill them up for and we've got diesel vehicles and generators and there's that. It's time to get that kind of, before they have to ration things, it's time to get those things filled up. Do we have cash in case the banks are down? Do we have crypto that's stored off the exchanges that's in our own wallets in case I need to do private transactions amongst my buddies? Silver, gold, copper, all that stuff is always useful. I've made a lot of purchases. We saw silver just this morning drop below $18 an ounce. So it's now spot prices in the 17s right now, high 17s. Been backing up the bus. I'm just backing up the bus. I got a cool video for you to show you guys next. I actually made an error on one order and I ended up getting a brick of silver and not individuals. It's pretty funny. I'll show it to you guys in the next video. What I thought was going to occur here, which is a major contraction of the US and global economy, and my macro picture, which is we're in an inflationary depression. Like we are in an inflationary depression. We've been in a depression since '08. You could argue a longer term view that we stopped moving forward since like the 80s as far as the world of materials. We haven't flown planes faster on less fuel since 1974. We have been literally in a depression and all equities have risen, like curve up to the right, in correspondence, like correlation with the money supply. So the only way that equities have actually risen in the last 20 years, but longer than that really, has been a perfect correlation to the money supply. Increase the money supply, increase the value of the equity market. And I was on the phone with my mom, which is the inspiration for this video today. And mom was like, yeah, I think if our equities come up just a little bit more, like on a bounce or something, I think we'll just cash out and we'll just save cash right now and just like wait for, what we think is going to happen here and just invest it in real estate because it's safer, easier. And like my family is in real estate. I do development, wife's a realtor, mom, dad are brokers, brother's a realtor, like we're in real estate. And I'm like, well, that would make a lot of sense, mom. However, don't wait too long. Oh, we need to wait for it to come up a little bit. I'm like, oh, because for the last 40 years of your life, it's been equities go forward because of the baby boom. But now you're 62 and you're some of the younger baby boomers and they are starting to sell and they're starting to get scared and they're starting to cash out and they're destroying the economy at the same time and they're shutting down and locking down all sorts of places over the world. And you can't outsource jobs to Taiwan or India or wherever anymore because people are starting to reshore jobs, which is hyperinflationary. Or like it's inflationary. I don't want to use the word hyperinflation because it gets way overused all the time. So we're in endgame scenario where you're going to see the demise of the US dollar, the US equity markets, and the bond market. The first thing to watch is that 10-year yield. The bond market is going to implode at some point in time. That cash is going to move. Where is it going to go? I think it's going to commodities. I think it's going to go to oil producers, coal producers, silver and gold miners, uranium miners, silver and gold physical, platinum. Like I think that it's going to go there, physical stuff. And then we're gonna have a system reset. And if I'm right on that, it's gonna get pretty tyrannical. And you're already seeing this, this would have been a conspiracy theory a few years ago, but now it's like, you have 3-letter alphabet organizations taking former White House officials, not the president, I'm not talking about the president, I'm talking about former White House officials, and calling up CNN and go, hey guys, we're gonna raid this guy's place here, about 4 a.m. We're gonna pull him out in his underwear and stuff like that, put him in the car. You guys wanna come for the ride? Okay, cool. And that's the world you live in right now. I don't trust these people as far as I can throw these people, and I don't wanna be close enough to throw these people. I want them back as far as possible, and that's another thing. Metals are not just precious metals. You got freedom seeds as well, and you gotta make sure that you're investing in those as in currency because they're going to increase in value. And that was a 20 bagger. That's for another video where I completely missed a 20 bagger that was right in front of my face because I wasn't educated in the market. Being a little bit illusionary there because I don't want to lose too many people on like, what the heck is he talking about at this point? But in America, we are setting up for a very, in my opinion, a revolutionary time. Are we going to move to a crypto financial system, or are we going to have a fiat by force financial system? And is it going to be by force, and whose force? And are we going to support Ukraine, or are we going to support Chicago or Philadelphia? Or what exactly is going on here? Is Nancy Pelosi just going to fly around on military planes and piss off China for fun? Nobody's going to do anything about that? Like, we're just going to start a war with China because they want a piece of their landmass that is rightfully their landmass back? I mean, it's getting a little gnarly. It would be like if California broke off and like 40 years later, we were like, you know what, we're going to take it back. It'd be like pretty justified. It would be like, yeah, I mean, like it kind of is yours. Like you sort of did buy it. Like you literally did buy it. So like, yeah, that would make sense. That would make a lot of sense. So anyway, at this point in time, good time to get prepared if you're not prepared. I'm a silver and gold broker. I would love to help you. If you don't have any allocation or talk to you on the phone, just be like, yo, what is your allocation to all things? And yeah, I'm going to be pumping out a lot more videos for you guys. I think we're back. I think we're back in force and our health is looking pretty good here. And I got a lot of stuff to share with you. I have notebooks on notebooks of stuff to share with you because these are super interesting times and they're fascinating. So be well. I'll see you guys down in the comments. And until the next video, please give these videos a like and share them with a friend. Peace.